Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Here's Miss Becky.
Hello.
Hello. How are you, Miss Becky?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good. Today we have this second video series after Jerry's vocabulary. This is for memorizing Bible verses. So each week we will post one Bible verse that you can memorize. Practice with Miss Becky first, and then you can watch this video repeatedly and then practice and memorize the verse. Memorizing Bible verses are very helpful to learn English and to have your English grammars and everything. So that's one of the best ways that I practiced my English and developed my English as well. So today we have one verse that Miss Becky chose that will be very helpful and practical for our VBS summer. It will be explained on a post. Okay, Miss Becky.
Okay, this morning we're going to look at from the book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. And this is from the New International Reader's Version, which is put in simple English so that people who are not familiar with all the English phrases can understand it a little better. So we're going to do this one today. I'm going to read it first all the way through, and then we'll practice it together.
Mm-hmm.
This is Jesus talking in this verse. When you see the quotation marks like that, it means that someone has said this.
And this one.
It starts and ends.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus said, "Here is my command. Love each other just as I have loved you." Okay, now I am going to, I want to just explain it a little bit. Not only is Jesus talking in this, but he says, "Here is my command." And the word command, if it's a military term, it means an order that your boss gives you and you have to do it. With Jesus, he's not giving us an order as much as I think he's giving us an instruction. He's telling us what we need and ought to do in order to be like him. And he says that we need to love each other just as he has loved us.
How much can you explain about how he showed his love?
Yes, he showed his love not only just by being kind and healing people and helping them with the problems that they had, which is part of loving someone, but he loved us so much that he came to earth from heaven. He is God's son, and he came from heaven to earth to live and to die on the cross and to be raised from the dead, so that we could have salvation. It's so that we could have a relationship with him and with God, his Father. That's how much he loved us.
Yes,
So
that's
when we're thinking about loving each other, we need to remember how Jesus loved us. He forgave us of our sins, so we need to forgive other people. He helped people, so we need to help each other. So he thought that the needs of other people were more important than his own needs. He gave up everything he had for us. So we need to be loving each other in that same way.
Yeah, I find it sometimes very hard and difficult, right? What about you, Miss Becky?
Yes, it's not always easy to love somebody else, especially to think that their needs are more important than mine. You know, what I'm doing today may be very important, but if someone really needs me, then I need to love them enough to stop what I'm doing and to help them with what they need.
Sure. We are learning and practice every day, little by little. Yes.
Every day.
Right. Yeah. So it's time for you to correct my pronunciation, like others, that they can catch my mistakes, or so that they can correct themselves.
Yes. So I'm going to read one phrase at a time, Miss Cindy, and then if you will just repeat it after me, and then when we get all the way through, I'll tell you if you've made any mistakes. Okay? All right. The first phrase is, "Here is my command."
Here is my command.
Love one another.
Love one another.
It says love each other. when I memorize
okay.
it,
I
do it
just
a different one. It says, love each other. So I didn't do it right. Love each other.
Love each other
Just as I have loved you.
just as I have loved you.
Miss Cindy, your pronunciation is great, and your expression, you read it with expression, and that's important when we're learning to read English.
I have a good teacher here.
Okay, so now I want to read it all the way through, and then I want you to read it all the way through.
Okay, let's go.
Here is my command. Love each other just as I have loved you.
Here is my command. Love each other just as I have loved you. John 15:12.
Yes, good. John 15:12. I always tell my students, my ESL students, that the John 15:12, I call it the address of the verse. It's so that I know if I can't remember all of it and I want to look it up in my Bible, I know to go to the book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. And Miss Cindy's showing you the same Bible that this verse has come from, the same translation.
So we've been using this Bible in our ESL classes.
Yes.
So whoever wants to have it, you can come and pick it up for free, or you can distribute to your friends and family. So if whoever wants just to call me to the church, then I will, have just to give you one or more. Gladly. I think this is the version that any ESL students can learn and read easier than any other versions that they made it. Yeah, very beautiful too, and very
It is.
Light. Okay.
So I want you to know that if you want to look up this verse in that Bible, you would go and look, and you can there at the very beginning of that Bible, it gives you a list of all the books. If you're not familiar with where they are, and it will tell you what page number to go for the book of John. Then you would be able to look the verse up. So I think that's very important.
Yes, let's do it once more. Let's listen to you read through.
Okay, I'm going to read it all the way through. You listen this time, okay? Here is my command. Love each other just as I have loved you. John 15:12.
Such a beautiful verse. And I have a question. Maybe this can be a cultural tip. So I see triangle thing on your head above.
Yes.
Can you explain that one? Yeah, that one. Yeah,
there it is. Okay. This is my husband's office where I'm sitting using his computer this morning to do this. And that triangle, you may be able to tell, has a flag in it, an American flag. And yes, it's folded in that way because that is the proper way to fold a flag when it's not flying. And this flag was given to my husband's family when his father died, because his father had served in the military in his life. And so there was a military service for him. And the flag was folded and given to my husband's family.
I've seen that flag folded in the triangle frame. It's quite a few families, in the house. So I guess that's the honor.
It is. It's to help us remember him and remember that he served our country. And this is a good time to talk about it because next Monday is called Memorial Day. And the word memorial means to remember, to remind us of something. And so on Memorial Day, we remember the people who have served in the military or are serving in the military.
Actually,
and
I'm one of the families, right?
Yes, that's right. Miss Cindy's son is in the Marine Corps right now, and her other son was in the Marine Corps serving the United States of America. And so that is a good reminder for us when we see the flag like that. We remember, we called him Papa. We remember Papa and all the good things that he did, not only for our country, but for our family as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, that's
okay. I hope you will have a good day. One more time. I will read it out loud, and then you practice reading it at home when you hear it, okay? Here is my command. Love each other just as I have loved you. John 15:12.
Can you do that once more?
Once more.
Listen to you.
Here is my command. Love each other just as I have loved you. John 15:12.
Thank you very much. Hope we can not only memorize this verse, but also we can practice in life, which will be very difficult, but by God's grace, we can be better than
That's right.
tomorrow than today. Okay, thank you, Miss Becky. See you
You're
next
welcome.
week. Bye-bye.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
students.